Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life and we are going to get started here with this video in the kitchen. This is going to be all food in this video, so if you are here for that, stick around. I am going to show you 3, 4, 5 days. I'm not exactly sure what. Just what we eat. How the food ends up working out in our household. I am getting started here right away on this Sunday afternoon by making some ginger bars. So you guys all know Warren's love of chili. Like if I say, hey, what would you like me to put on the meal plan for this week? You all know he's going to say chili. If I say, I'm going to bake something, this is what he says, ginger bars. And I thought, why not? So 3/4 cup of shortening in here, a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of molasses. Pull out one of my partially used napkins. I save partially used napkins when there's still, a lot of life left in them, and I tuck them up in my cupboard here. And when I'm baking and I need to wipe a little egg white off my fingers or a little shortening, I pull these napkins out and they work perfect for that. I think that we don't get ahead financially in life only because we completely restrict ourselves from spending, but I think more so is just, why am I using a teaspoon for that? I never measure vanilla. A 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I just feel that getting ahead is by doing a lot of little steps. Let's talk about that. I think it's a mindset. It's training yourself that I don't have to throw away the napkin every single time. Let's use the napkin until it's completely used. I don't have to wash clothes every single time I wear something for, 3 hours or something. Wear it until it's seriously soiled. So that's kind of like my term. I'll tell my kids, is it seriously soiled? Throw it in the laundry. So maybe you did only wear it for 2 hours, but you ran a marathon. It needs to go into well, you wouldn't finish a marathon in 2 hours, would you? Or would you? I don't know. But anyway, it would go into the wash. But if it has life left in it, wear it again. It's less wear and tear on your washing machine. It's less water if you have a water bill, like if you live in town. It's less power and electricity. Did I say that one already? It's less laundry detergent or laundry sheets. It's just less. That is how I think people get ahead. That is how we have worked to get ahead over the course of our lifetime, is just being smart with how we use things, how we reuse things. Anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to put you on top of my $20 coffee maker, Mr. Coffee maker, and it makes just as good coffee as some of the expensive coffee makers. At least I think so. Just a really good scrape here. Get this mixed up. I'm going to get my oven set to 375 degrees. I need 2 cups of flour. I also just used up my molasses, so I'm going to get that written onto my grocery list. I have had questions in the past, people saying, how do you have the ingredients just to quick make something that takes molasses? Well, how I have those ingredients is because as soon as I use up something or I get down pretty low, I will add that to my grocery list. So I was just noticing, but it's not quite time to add it, but like peppercorns. Peter just filled the pepper yesterday, the pepper grinder, and I was like, I better look at that just to see, because I don't want to run out of pepper corns. Same with molasses. I just used up the last little bit. I'll add it to my store list, and then next time I do like a big shopping, then I will get molasses. And then I just kind of always tend to have those ingredients on hand. We need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Just sprinkle it over the flour. You don't have to mix the dry ingredients together. 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. I'm just kind of using my 1 teaspoon and eyeballing it. 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Get that mixed up. little scrape just to be sure that everything mixed all the way through. So ungreased jelly roll pan, that's a 10 by 15. I always just use a rimmed baking sheet, like a cookie sheet, I guess is what we always called them. But I guess technically a cookie sheet does not have sides. Still, I call it a cookie sheet. And it may look like it's not going to spread all out into a 10 by 15 pan, but trust me, these are a thin bar. They truly are like a cookie bar. So you just keep working it. You can use a little water, cold water on your hands. That works too. But certain spatulas seem to almost be non-stick and work really well too. I don't know where it stopped because I just realized that my camera card was full, so I had to switch that out. But as I was saying, it may not look like it wants to spread, but it will. Now, I have seen some people make something similar to this. Maybe it's even the same recipe and they sprinkle cinnamon sugar across the top. We don't do that. I think it's sweet enough and we like it just like this. So pop it in the oven about 10 or 12 minutes, right? Yes, 10 to 12 minutes, 375. And you definitely don't want to overbake these. So I'm going to set it for 10. I'm using a very dark pan that I've had for probably 25 years. So it will bake up very quickly. Remember just a few minutes ago I said that you don't want to over bake these. I just overbaked them a bit. I had to run down and get Warren, and I thought it was going to be less than 10 minutes to run and get him, but the timer was going off when I got back. They had already, so typically when I bring them out of the oven, they've puffed, but they haven't already sunk. Today they puffed and sunk. So
they look delicious.
Because normally they would puff, I'd bring them out of the oven, and as they cool, they would sink. They'd be nice and chewy, and the edges wouldn't be quite that dark. But anyway, like Warren said, they're going to be delicious. This is just a favorite, and you know, honestly, I kind of like when the edges get crunchy, and I can put them in a little milk. So let's let these cool and go about our day, and I will see you back here with supper tonight. So since I am doing like meals of the week here for this whole week, I just wanted to show you the groceries. So first, this morning after church, we swung by Quick Trip because they were having milk for the next 2 weeks, approximately, actually only one more week now. They have milk for $1.99 a gallon. It includes whole milk. So we picked up 6 gallons. That was just under $12. Then we also swung by Pick and Save because I had 2 coupons for free potato products, the Kroger frozen potato products. I didn't spend anything. Absolutely zero, but I got the Southern style diced hash browns, and we'll either just make them as hash browns or I'll just keep them in the freezer for another week or some other time, and we might do Amber's creamy potato soup in the crock pot. Then I also picked up 1 bag of tater tots. Again, this could be a side for something we have this week, or I could just pop them in the freezer for another week and do tater tot casserole. And then the groceries totaled $142. So $142, $152, so $154 total for the milk and the groceries. Both of these items were free. Let me walk you through what I got here from grocery delivery. Today I actually had Janet, and she shopped for my order and delivered it. She did apologize in advance. She said there was not a lot of options for lettuce today, so she said she did her best, and I think it actually looks just fine. I wanted leaf lettuce, and I wanted like the fresh romaine, you know, not just the romaine hearts. This was exactly what I ordered, and that's exactly what she picked up for me. These Wild Wonders tomatoes, I'm going to be doing some salads this week, just fresh green salads with ranch and tomatoes probably is what it's going to be, because I didn't order cucumbers, I see. Onions, carrots. I have been getting the organic 2 pounds of carrots because it's cheaper for 2 pounds than it is to get 2 1-pound bags of regular conventional growing carrots. All right, some more broccoli. This is going to be for, well, one of the days this week we are going to have, what are we going to have? I can't think of what it's called. Chicken teriyaki bowls, that's what we're going to have. So in our garden right now, we have radishes ready. They're ready to pull. We've been eating them. And Warren was like, hey, since you have radishes, maybe you'd make potato salad. So I did pick up celery and red potatoes. That was another thing Janet apologized for. She said the red potatoes didn't look very red, but she did the best she could. And then I also did pick up 10 pounds of russets because we were completely out. For cheese, I picked up some Colby Jack sliced cheese as well as just the Baker's string cheese. I did pick up a little meat, some boneless ham. Yes, the hickory smoked ham. We're not big fans of the honey ham. The hickory just doesn't have so much sweetness to it. So this works great to go along with eggs for breakfast or lunch. There's so many uses for this. We can just fry it up and have as the meat for supper. We can make sandwiches, whatever we want. And then some chicken breast here, because I wanted this for like the chicken teriyaki bowls. And I also thought we would make some barbecue chicken sandwiches, or maybe just have barbecue chicken and serve it over lettuce. Not exactly sure how the week is going to unfold. And then I did pick up this buffalo style chicken breast. So this has been, you typically get it, we'll get it at Aldi. And this is the first time I think I've picked it up, ordered it from Walmart. So we'll see if this is spicier than the one from Aldi. The Aldi one is not very spicy, but it's delicious. You take a slice of meat and a slice of cheese or a string cheese, roll it up and just eat it like that. Makes a great snack. All right, some buttermilk because I still want to make some chocolate chip scones. I've had that recipe pulled out for a while and just haven't gotten to it yet, but it is on the docket. All right, here are the potatoes I already showed you. I picked up 2 bags of the On the Border cafe style chips. We still have some cheese sauce from when the kids and I were at camp. Actually, Warren didn't know that I had bought him some, so he bought some. So now we have extra cheese sauce, but no more chips. Isn't that how it always goes? All right, and then I ordered some cupcake liners. When I was ordering, I thought they were just white, but anyway, they are pink confetti. And then some Montreal steak seasoning, some salsa. I have no salsa on my shelves. No salsa for you. No, that's no soup for you. All right, you guys know the reference, right? Leave a comment down below. What TV show is that from? No soup for you. Anyway, but they also did a salsa episode in that TV show. On that TV show, that was like the #1 growing condiment because everyone likes to say salsa. All right. You guys leave a comment if you know the show I'm talking about. So for the barbecue chicken, it actually calls for salsa, and so that's why I bought that. Just needed some mayo, so I picked that up, and this has been really handy for when we are picnicking this summer. I had gotten some a while back, and we just used it up. I'm like, I know it's a little more expensive than just getting it out of a tub, but when you're out on the boat or you're out on a bike ride and you just take ingredients and you don't make the sandwiches ahead of time, it is so nice to just squeeze that out. There's no mess, no knife that we either have to wipe or wrap to bring home or remember to bring a plastic knife and throw away, that kind of thing. Tomato sauce, I can't remember what this is for. Oh, I know. I want to make Italian noodle casserole. And then I got tomato soup. Again, I think one of these is for Italian noodle casserole and the other ones are just to have on hand. I have been making a lot of this, what's called beetle juice. It's just a recipe, you guys, that I found a long time ago, probably in a quick cooking magazine, I'm talking late 90s, maybe 2000. Anyway, what you do is you take a cup of sugar and a cup of water and you just kind of simmer that on the stove just enough until the sugar dissolves. And then into a gallon pitcher or jar, I have a big gallon jar, you put in 2.5 cups of white grape juice, a cup of lemon juice, and then a 1.5 cups of some other juice. The original recipe called for orange juice. I use orange juice concentrate, like a whole orange juice concentrate. You put all of that in, stir it up, and then you fill the rest of the gallon jar all the way up with water. chill it, serve it over ice. It's very refreshing. It's not too sweet. And then yesterday, I actually made it again. Same ingredients, except I swapped out my home canned cranberry juice, my cranberry juice light. Not the kind that Warren makes, that's like very concentrated, but what I make, that's a much lighter cranberry juice. So I swapped that out for the orange juice, and that is delicious too. Different color, you know, when you use the orange juice, it almost just looks like orange juice in the jug. When you use the cranberry juice, it has a little bit more of a pink. Well, let me see. There it actually is. Isn't that pretty? That's why I bought more of this grape juice, and we needed more lemon juice so that we could make more beetle juice. And then almonds, so some cocoa roasted almonds and some honey roasted almonds. I feel like I ordered some other nut. Oh, no, I didn't. I was looking for beer nuts, but all they had was a beer nuts bar mix, which had like other things other than nuts. Warren didn't want that, but he was like, man, I could go for some beer nuts. You know, it like takes you, at least for us, kind of takes us back to our childhood. If you went to a bar with an older relative or something like that, it was, well, what do you want? And it would be beer nuts off that little like puller, like it would be like a little tree, a little metal tree, and you'd pull it off the little clip. Anyway, okay, oats and honey granola. Peter had requested that, and I picked up 2 different kinds just because that's what I felt like doing. And then he also requested honey roasted, what is this? Honey bunches of oats. Can you tell he is a granola lover? I guess the last thing I did was pick up some Sparkle paper towel, and that is everything. So that is $142, you guys. And I think it actually looks pretty good. I mean, I got not a ton of meat, but I guess I have meat and I have cheese and I have lots of veggies. A lot of things to get us through the week. All right, let's look over at the ginger bars. Yes, they got pretty dark. Still delicious. Actually, I kind of am digging this crunchy edge. Not even dunked in milk. It's got a little bit of a burnt taste. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes a little bit of a burnt taste. There's just something about it. It reminds me of my grandma. When she made chocolate chip cookies, it was always with butter. She always baked them until they were brown. My grandpa liked them brown. Oh, we have a mosquito flying around the house now. So it kind of reminds me of that. Get away, mosquito. So it reminds me of that, and it's very, very good. Joe loves these. Warren loves these. And that's how much of it we've already eaten here this afternoon. It is time for supper on this Sunday night, so I had made an Italian venison back, well, in April. I just brought it out yesterday, put it in the fridge. It was completely thawed today, and I'm just warming this on the stove. I have some of these deli rolls here, the little, we just call them hoagie rolls. And it's just Warren and me and Joe who need to eat supper tonight. Unless, Peter, did you need any extra supper? No. No? Okay. Peter and Maria had eaten at a friend's. It's already, oh my goodness, it's 10 to 8. We're finally, Warren and I and Joe are finally going to eat supper. I'm going to get these into the oven and toasting. I'm going to pop these under the broiler for a couple of minutes to get toasty. I just decided I'm going to try to very quick saute up some onions as well. A little bit of butter. Just a little bit of onion. I don't think I need a lot. It's now about 9:15 here, and we had a lot of extra coffee today, so I just put it in this mason jar. I'm going to put this cap on it. It's nice. It's got this pour handle. I can link these in the description box. I was sponsored by this company, I want to say last summer. Anyway, still use the product, and I love the product. Okay, I was also going to make some coffee here for tomorrow, so I'm just going to get that going right now. So then when I get up to do my workout in the morning, and I do have to call the chiropractor really right away because there's something going on with my sciatica again, just like back in March. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to get the coffee made right now so that when I get up tomorrow morning, it's all ready to go. I guess I didn't mention what I was going to be using this coffee for. I may use it to make a black magic cake tomorrow or the next day, or I might even use it just as iced coffee with a little bit of heavy cream and ice in the afternoon for a little pick-me-up. I was able to get into my chiropractor right at 12:10 today. So I had left a few things for lunch and some ideas for everybody. And in addition to our groceries for the week, I picked up sourdough bread from Emily. So I've mentioned it before. If you guys are interested, taking a drive or you're local, contact me through email and I will get you her information and you can make some arrangements to pick up some bread or follow her page on Facebook or whatever. Okay, so it looks like the kids made some ramen while I was gone. They ate ramen, but I'm actually just going to have a slice of sourdough bread. I have it in the toaster right now. I'm going to put a little bit of butter on it, and that is going to be my lunch for today. Good Monday afternoon. I have a banana here that everybody has been trying to throw away on me. I'm like, no, I'm going to make that into banana bread. So I have in Cookbook Volume 2 on page 44, if you like to follow along, or you're welcome to take a screenshot as soon as that clears up. Is that clear, you guys? It's not clear. Come on. There we go. This banana bread recipe is definitely over 100 years old. I think the lady where I had originally, like the original woman who made this recipe, she was, well, when I was little, I thought she was probably 100. At that time, she was probably like 80, maybe 70. But anyway, I thought she was 100. That was a long, long time ago. That was when I was about maybe 7. Okay, here we go. 1 cup of sugar into the bowl of my mixer here. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay, well, it's a 1/2 cup of shortening, part butter. So I don't have quite a 1/4 cup of butter here. If we need 8 tablespoons total, I'm going to need about 5 tablespoons, and that's going to be about that right there. This is a very, very forgiving recipe. We're going to get that mixing. We're going to get in 2 eggs. Get that mixing. All right, that was a 1/3 cup of sour milk. So I just took my 1/3 cup. I put in a little bit of lemon juice. It was at least a teaspoon, maybe even all the way up to 2 teaspoons. Filled it up with whole milk. It immediately starts to kind of like almost curdle. If it doesn't, then you can just let it rest for 10, 20, 30 seconds. Maria, can you turn it down just a smidge? I'm still filming. Thank you. And then I just added that in. We're going to give that a little bit of a mix. Now we have this really mushy banana. Let's get that in there. We need 2 to 3 bananas. That one is just perfect for that. Oh, that one, okay, I guess those are the 2 that want to go in. They are already peeling themselves. These are pretty soft too. Mix that up. We're going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Again, I will not measure that other than just in my hand. That looks good. Shake it all around and do the hokey pokey. 2 cups of flour. 1, 2. I should get my oven preheating. 300 degrees is all this recipe needs. And a teaspoon of baking soda, which I will measure. We're going to mix that lightly. A 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. We like good-sized chunks. So even though these are the chopped walnuts, they're still fairly big. I did chop them a little bit smaller. I'm going to just make sure by stirring from the bottom up, just to be sure that everything made it nicely incorporated. I'm going to put this into one loaf pan. Put it into a couple of loaf pans, like those smaller ones that I oftentimes show. You could put it into 2 of those. You'll get, obviously, 2 loaves. So very easy to share with a neighbor or a friend. Or, I mean, maybe your neighbor is your friend. Maybe you want your neighbor to be your friend, so you take them over a loaf of this yummy, yummy banana bread. I actually am going to put this into a large loaf pan today because I want to get outside and go down to the garden and do some work down there. I've been saying for, a week that I want to add some some dirt to the tops of my onions because they're starting to like push up and out of the soil, and I haven't done it. Today is the day that is going to happen. I want to have a good hour or longer to get that garden work done. So this will have to go in for an hour at 300. A lot of times it's in for upwards of an hour and 15. It really doesn't dry out. Nuts is right, Joe. I put walnuts in the banana bread. This is such a moist bread. You want to definitely bake it long enough because you don't want to bring your loaf of bread out and then as it cools it gets kind of like that sinking in the center and then it's gooey. Yuck, nobody likes a gooey banana bread, at least not in this household. And these peels are going straight out to the chickens. No fruit flies for me. The banana bread was in for probably an hour and 25 minutes actually. So a long time to get this completely done. Now, you know, I put in 3 good sized bananas, so there was a lot of moisture in this banana bread. All right, I'm gonna get this out onto the cutting board here. It's already cooled quite a bit while I was still out gardening, and we're gonna try a little slice. So much good banana flavor. First thing in the morning, I flood my cells with a full 16 ounce, sometimes even more. I guess it depends on the cup I grab of water. Go and do my workout, and then after that, I come in for my cup of coffee. All right, good morning, everybody. I just put allergy eye drops in too, so I look like I'm crying here. Currently, I'm working through the Body Fit. I think it's Body Fit by Amy. I think that's the workouts, and those were recommended to me almost a year ago, and it took that long to get through, well, the rest of the Get Fit with Rick, as well as all the Coach Angel, and so now I'm working through hers, and I probably could be on her workouts forever because she is uploading constantly new workouts. So every day I think I'm going to be doing like the one from the day before or whatever, and then I go on and she's got another new workout. So I just do whatever it is. Today it happened to be 12 minutes, and there was a warm-up, a cool down, and then 10 minutes of just like weightlifting. And you could do heavy weights. That was what was recommended. I did not. I did only my 5 pounds because I'm dealing with the sciatica thing. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and I'm going to go again tomorrow or Friday. I guess it depends on when I can get in, but it's better. It's not great. I didn't want to do any heavy weights. So anyway, it rained this morning a little bit, but it's done. I'm going to go and sit out on the patio and drink my coffee. Lunch is about to happen here today. Maria's having some of the cranberry beetle juice. I also made her a little parfait. This is just, let me just show you. Sure. The ingredients are the Better Goods Greek yogurt, honey vanilla, a couple of strawberries sliced, and then some of this Great Value oats and honey granola. And do you want a brat patty to go with that? Do you want a hard-boiled egg? I have a spoon for you. It's right here.
Oh, thank you.
Use that spoon. What else do you think you're going to want with that? Anything? That's it? Just a parfait and juice?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That makes for a very easy lunch for her. It's just Joe and Maria and me home here today. So I think we have some T-bone steak and some brat patties. I'm going to see what Joe wants. And I also have some instant mashed potatoes left. That is from Sunday night supper, right? Sunday night? Saturday night? Whatever night that was. I'm pretty sure that this is what Joe's going to want. Maybe a couple strawberries to go with it too. For supper tonight, we are going to make some little pizzas. So Maria's doing some babysitting, and the mom had these little like pizza crusts, and she was like, oh, those are really good. So anyway, I bought some. I'll show those to you in a second. I know this is breakfast sausage. I am going to season this up with Italian seasoning so that we can try to override some of that breakfast season flavoring. And we're going to make individual mini pizzas for supper tonight. From different times that we've gotten frozen mozzarella sticks and things like that. I actually have a few packets here of some marinara, pizza sauce, whatever it is. This is what we're going to use as our toppings for the pizza. I might have more. I'll have to check. And if this was unseasoned, just like ground pork, I would use this Portesi Italian seasoning. But since the first ingredient is salt, and this has already been seasoned, I really don't want to use this and get it too salty. Some of us, like I'll probably put a sprinkling of this on top of the cheese, but I just don't want to try to season the whole thing with that. So I'm going to use just straight Italian seasoning. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I had to take a little bit of a hiatus from food. My mom, she ended up in the hospital, and it was looking pretty serious. It seems to be under control right now, but I've just spent a lot of time up at the hospital. So I did not do any filming of food. Yesterday, I did have Culver's for supper. Yesterday for breakfast, they got me a care tray at the hospital. So I had an omelet and 2 pieces of bacon and a cranberry orange muffin and coffee. But anyway, and I have no idea what they did at home. Today, I went out and this is thawed. The chicken leg quarters are thawed. There's 10 pounds of them. Will I be able to get it on my giant super sheet or whatever this is called? I don't know, but I'm going to try. Let's get this lined with foil and get it sprayed, and then we will get the chicken put out on there. For today's chicken, I am just going to put it skin side up and season it heavily with seasoned salt. If there is some extra skin or anything, like on this piece here, I'm going to cut this off. I don't really need that. I'm going to just get these tucked in here, make sure there's no little feathers. That's always a little unappetizing. All right, well, this is working out perfectly. So if you are in the habit of buying those big 10-pound bags of chicken leg quarters and you can never get them all into one pan, guess what? This is the pan. This big Nordic ware, I think they call it the big sheet or something like that. Actually, it fits perfectly with a little room, so I don't have to have them smashed together so tightly, so they will actually be able to get kind of crispy.
Ooh, look how juicy that is.
Yep, it's going to be a good one. Baked this up to like 220 degrees. The goal when I make this kind of chicken is for it to pretty much fall off the bone when, once you kind of start pulling it apart. So hopefully that happens. Joe is making himself a salad over here. And this is what our supper is looking like tonight. Chicken and salad.
So good.
Very easy for a 7:30 in the evening supper. It is Sunday evening and we are having our supper. This morning I put in a beef chuck roast into the crock pot on low, and it has been just going all day. All I did was about an hour ago, I added salt and pepper along with a little bit of cornstarch to thicken up the juices.
Mommy, come here.
in just a minute, Joe. And then we're doing green beans and baked potatoes. So I did the baked potato in the Instant Pot, super easy to do. I think today I put them at 16 minutes, maybe 17. And really that's it. Just a very easy meal